Alright, YouTube. Real quick, I don't know if this is working yet because I've never recorded a video this way. I've always done it a different way. Uh, one day less than a week ago, I picked up my epipe from epipemods.com. They were over at the Vape Fest. Picked it up. I wasn't sure about how I was going to like the button. I wasn't sure if it would go off in my pocket. I wasn't sure if I'd lose the top of my pocket altogether. Turns out the thing is great. The button doesn't seem to go off in my pocket. The top doesn't come off my pocket. I thought for sure I'd slip it into my front pocket and I'd find the button one place, the top another, the battery another. It doesn't go anywhere. I picked this up from them. I also picked up their Ego Mega Addy, one of their customized tips. The tips, I guess what they were saying was they take a regular pipe tip and they Dremel it out, and you see that little V shape there. I noticed that when I drip in this, I drip right in the center of that V, and the other two sides, it works better than a regular drip tip, because the two sides on it allow the air to just goes right down. So that's the Addy that I picked it up with. I love it. This little pipe rocks. It's the smallest wood mod that I have. Every other wood mod I have is juice fed, whether I bought it or I built it. But again, these were the only wood guys at Vape Fest. As disturbing as that is, I'm sure it worked out really well for them. But I had another pipe at one point. I gave it to a buddy of mine. I didn't really like it, but I did want a pipe, and now I've got a pipe that I like. This one's versatile. I can use, the big Ego Mega Addies on it. This is that giant Omizer. I picked this up from Bruce at Clouds of Vapor, also at Vape Fest. Turns out they're just trash. They don't wick up the juice quick enough. They look slick on the pipe, and they got that, they got that window right here for seeing your juice level. They hit great about every 10 minutes. So in 10 minutes from now, I'll be able to hit this again, but until then, you're going to get that burnt, nasty, dry Addy taste. I also picked up a T-Tank, that Ego T-Tank. That works real well on there. Looks sleek, slick. I said the other pipe I had, you couldn't do this on. I was locked into using their nasty cartomizer, atomizer things. It's one of those Joy E cartomizers. That's what it looks like on the pipe. Just the regular 510 ones. Now I know, I think it's Matt and Steve. They were saying they wanted to be able to put the Ego cone on there, and I know they're messing with a hub for doing that. For now, I just took an old Ego battery that I had, and I just went after it with the Dremel, and I took it to the bandsaw. I cut it up, and I Dremeled it out, and now I can get my cone on there. Before I put that on, let me throw that cartomizer back on there. It's that Joy E cartomizer, the regular 510. It just looks kind of out of place or whatever. But when you get your, once these guys get it all figured out to where they can get the, the cones on there, That's a nice looking pipe now. You know, it's right, you know, right back up to that classy look. It works nice. I can take that off my, you know, what is this one? It's my bogey, whatever. The soft top cartomizers. These things are nice, you know. As long as you got that cone on there, it looks slick no matter what. I mean, it doesn't matter what you put on this thing. It's got to be, I don't know of any other pipe that's versatile. This one certainly is. That's that, whatever I said, the bogey soft top. I can pull this off of this other, and my iConvate Isaac's 2.0 510s, which is my addy of choice for my juice fed mods, for my dripping, for anything. They're just rock solid addies. You know, as far as the flavor or anything goes, I really like this button. I can press it with my knuckle, my fingertip. And get silly, put it upside down. It doesn't matter. It's gonna fire every time. So after I put all these on there, I figure I'd see what it looks like if I make it look silly. Throw the map tank on there. Everything else looks classy. I mean, the map tank's just I'm not a map tank fan, so I guess I shouldn't talk bad about it. I've had this one for 2 months. That's the first filling I put on it. But it fires it. This thing, it's definitely the most versatile pipe out there. It's got to be. At least as far as I know. I'm not saying I know a whole lot, but excuse me. That is like I said, I put this in my pocket. I thought for sure I'd find the battery in one place, the cover in another, the button in another. Everything stays together, fires every time. I sent what do you call it? I sent him a PM on ECF, and he got back to me real quick. I told him that I was liking it. I had a couple questions. Boom, he gets right back to me, answers the questions, and that's what we need from our vendors. Whether it's for this product or anybody's, you got to be on top of your game, and these guys so far seem to be on top of it. Like I said, I've only had this about a week. It's not my constant all day every day PV, but every time I reach for it, it fires. Every time I want it, it's there. I'm really enjoying it. I was glad I got to go to Vape Fest and meet up with these guys. Good group of guys, surrounding the mod. Good mod, as far as the, everything lines up perfectly on it. I went with I guess originally I was going to do the Bulldog style, and then I changed my mind and went to this egg style with the bent shaft. I did a basic mahogany for my wood, and it's not my last one, it's my first one. So, but that's it in a nutshell. I'm enjoying it. Everything about it is just versatile, and even the batteries I got from them, I didn't know how long their lifespan was going to be. There's been a couple days during the week that this was my only PV for the day, just to make sure I wasn't going to have any issues with it, and I've had no issues with it. That's about it though. I want to get this video loaded up, so that's all for now. Again, I really like this drip tip. I also noticed that besides dripping quicker than a conventional drip tip because of the extra airflow, when I actually hit the pipe with this on there, because it's such a nice, you know, flat, wide place where the vapor is coming in at, it's not like I have to aim the vapor to the taste buds that I want it to hit. It just automatically just covers my entire, you know, palette of taste buds with, you know, great vapor, you know. So that's a winner, you know, the way it just happened to work out for them. But keep up the good work, guys. I'm really enjoying it, and like I said, it's my first, not going to be my last. Alright, thanks a lot. Keep it up.